If you no longer have teeth, or the teeth you have are in really rough condition, you no longer can save them, then we would highly recommend getting a permanent solution. They are an overdenture, an all-on-4, or a full mouth reconstruction. And as a reminder, here at the Smile Mission, as far as we are aware, we are some of the most affordable prices in the entire country. So let's go over them. The overdenture. Basically, this is a denture that snaps into dental implants, and that allows this denture to be held in place really well, which allows you to eat well, it allows you to talk so much better than a regular denture. And another huge benefit to this is that you can trim away all the acrylic that is part of a regular denture. That means you can feel your palate and you can taste your food a lot more. One of the biggest issues with just a regular denture is that it moves all the time when you're talking, when you're eating, and you can't eat the food that you would want to. It could fall out when you're and embarrass you when you're with friends, and all of these things are solved with an overdenture. And there are two options. There's a 2-implant overdenture or a 4-implant overdenture. We recommend 4 implants because with more implants, it's more stable and patients have a much better experience with the 4-implant overdenture. We also offer the all-on-4. It is like an overdenture, but it is screwed in. This means the patient cannot remove it, which the positive thing means you can basically eat whatever you want because it can't be removed. It's going to stay in place. But the negative part is it also can't be removed, which means cleaning it is much more difficult. Compare that to the overdenture. The overdenture, if you pull really hard, you can remove it and you can clean it yourself. Whereas the all-on-4, the only way to clean it is to go to the dentist and have the dentist remove it, which you really should have at least 2 times a year. So just keep that in mind. Now there are 2 types for the last option, the full mouth reconstruction with no teeth and the full mouth reconstruction with teeth. So the full mouth reconstruction with no teeth means you have no teeth, or if you have teeth, they're all going to be removed. And then we are going to take 6 to 8 implants and use those to restore your entire mouth out of zirconia. The best way to think about it is if you're missing 3 teeth in a row. You get 2 implants, one at the front, one at the back, and then you would have crowns over those. And you have a crown in the middle connected to the crown on the front one and a crown connected to the crown on the back one. And so basically it would be called an implant bridge. That is basically the same thing we're doing here. We're doing an implant bridge, an implant bridge, and an implant bridge. We're doing 3 or 4 implant bridges. And why I'm explaining all this is it is extremely natural because unlike the other ones that have gums, these are just teeth color. And it's like what you would have if you were to basically miss 1 tooth or missing all your teeth. You're basically restoring your teeth like they were before. You can eat hard foods, your teeth look really natural, and this is definitely the best option. But it's also the most difficult option to get your bite, to get the teeth positioned well, and so it is also more expensive because it takes a lot more work to get this one to work. But when it does get done, it is extremely nice. And the last option is the full mouth reconstruction with teeth. This is where you have some teeth that are doing okay, but you're missing several other teeth. So what we do is we take the teeth you have and we put zirconia crowns on them, and we take the teeth that you're missing and put implants on them. And so again, the implant crowns are all zirconia, the regular crowns are all zirconia, so when you blend it all together, it looks really natural. And the gums around natural teeth do look a little bit better than they do around implant teeth. And because you had your natural teeth, the bite tends to be really, really good, and it just overall does really, really well. So now that we went over the different procedures, now let's go over the timing of the procedure. There's 2 parts. There's placing the implants in, and there's restoring it later on. Now when we place the implants in, that is done in just 1 day. So we've had patients that have literally came in that morning and left Miami that evening. But most people don't do that because when we place the implants in, that's a surgery. And most people want to take a few days to rest. So they'll come to Miami, maybe have the implants placed that day, but it has to start in the morning, or come the night before, and then they'll stay for 2-3 days to recover and then go back home if they're from out of town. Now, once the implants are placed, you gotta let them heal. The bone has to heal around it to make them really strong before you put a bunch of pressure on them, and that takes 3 months. So while that is happening, we'll talk about temporary in the future, but when you come back, that takes a lot longer because then we're restoring everything. If you're doing an all-on-4 or an overdenture or a full mouth reconstruction with teeth, any of those 3 options, you need to be here just 5 days. Really, it's 4 days, but we have a backup day in case anything doesn't work out. But if you're doing a full mouth reconstruction with no teeth, as we talked about, that can be quite difficult. We have to recreate your entire bite. And so for that case, we do need you here 8 days. So an extra 3 days if that's the case. And that's where we restore and you get your final teeth, which is quite exciting. Now, in that time, remember we talked about you place the implants and 3 months later we restore the implants. So there's a 3-month period. And for that, we need to talk about a temporary. Now, if you already came to our office and you were already missing all your teeth, chances are you're wearing a denture or you're just used to not having any teeth. Either way, if you don't have any teeth, those are usually the best cases because you continue doing what you're doing. What I mean is we place in the implants, and then if you have a denture, you just keep wearing that denture you've been always wearing because it's gonna be your temporary for those 3 months. The tricky case is if you have teeth and we're gonna be removing those teeth, what you're gonna do because now you have no teeth for those 3 months. If you're local, it's very easy. You come a week or two before your procedure, we take an impression, we make you a temporary, so the day we take out your teeth, you can have a temporary. But the problem with this temporary is your tissue is going to heal in different ways. So you do need to come back and we need to adjust it because we don't know exactly when we take out your teeth how your teeth are going to heal. But you come back and we just do adjustments as we go. Whenever you're sore, you just come back and we do adjustments, and after 3 months you get your final teeth. So locals, it's not so bad. The tricky part is for those that are out of town, what to do about a temporary. We always recommend for people from out of town that they get a temporary at their local clinic. Because if you get a temporary at your local clinic and have to do adjustments, they can do all the adjustments and all that stuff. Some patients just don't want to work with anybody else but want to work with us. Now, if that's the case, we can definitely make you a temporary. We'll take out your teeth, place in the implants, make you a temporary, say 2 days or at least 3 days later, but then you're going to have to go home. And as mentioned, as your gums heal and as the bone heals, it's going to need some adjustments. Now, again, in that case, you can go to a local dentist and hopefully they'll just do an easy adjustment. Almost any dentist can do local adjustments. Or we've even had patients do this, where they have their own shop, their own kind of mechanic or car shop or whatever, and they'll adjust their own denture. So that isn't recommended, but I can tell you some patients have done that. And so I hope this video was helpful. We were trying to explain all this over the phone. Patients were getting so confusing, so I decided let's make a video so patients can kind of understand about our different procedures, about the timing and the process and the temporaries, because we thought it'd be much easier to see it visually than trying to explain this all over the phone. But let us know if you have any questions.